guys, so today I'm going to be doing my 7-month postpartum update. And I know in my previous video I said that I would kind of start combining these videos with Arya's updates because I haven't had really a lot of things to update. But this month I actually have a lot of information for you guys, so I'm going to be doing a separate video, and maybe from now on I'll start combining them. But this month I actually have quite a few things to talk about. For starters, my weight. I don't know really, I haven't done anything different. I'm not exercising, I'm not really eating healthy, I'm not really doing anything. However, I keep just reducing. My goal is 110 pounds. That's kind of my goal. I told you guys that I did start, my pre-pregnancy weight is 122 pounds. However, while we were trying to get pregnant, it took us probably around 5 months to get pregnant. During that time, I did gain about 10 pounds. So I kind of want to go back to my original weight and not just my pre-pregnancy weight, if that makes any sense. And right now I am about 117 pounds, which is less than my pre-pregnancy weight, but not really where I want to be at. And I definitely don't think I look too skinny, but I guess you guys can see it at the very end. My clothes are definitely fitting. Everything I own fits me. I'm really enjoying being able to fit into the clothes that I haven't worn in such a long time, so I'm enjoying that. We are definitely still breastfeeding. Arya started solids already, so we did have her try carrots and sweet potatoes and squash and a lot of things. So I do see that there has been a decrease in the breast milk that she's having, just because she's kind of filling herself up with other stuff. But we are still breastfeeding. We breastfeed in the morning, we breastfeed at night, and during the day my mom does give her some of the breast milk that I pump from the previous day. However, she is also giving her a little bit of formula. Whenever we make the cereal, she does mix it in, not with breast milk, but with cereal. So with formula. So she'll make a little bit of formula and then put it in the cereal and make the cereal with formula. And she is giving her kind of, if she needs to, a bottle or whatever. But I did kind of get out of that mentality. I think before we hit 7 months, I was kind of like, no, formula, don't give her any formula. And if you absolutely have to, only give her a little bit. And I was really kind of just freaking out about that. But I've reached a point where I said, you know what? I used to wake up at 2, 3 in the morning to pump more so she would have sufficient amount of milk for the next day, and I stopped doing that. I need the sleep, so I am sleeping through the night. I'm not doing that pumping session at 3 in the morning, which I didn't need. It wasn't that I was engorged and I had to pump because it was painful. I would just do it for the fact that I wanted Arya to have milk for the next day. So I stopped doing that, and I'm over the fact, as long as she's having breast milk, I'm okay with that. She's having it in the morning, she's having it at night, she's having a bottle or two during the day, and if she needs to have a little bit of formula, I'm okay with that. On that note, she has 2 teeth now, and it is so exciting. When I saw it, I was like, oh my god. I've been trying to kind of see it and see if the gums were white and see if it was coming, because she's been drooling for probably 3 or 4 months now, and I was like, okay, she's teething, but where are these teeth? I don't see them. Finally, they came out. It's her 2 bottom teeth, and they're so cute. I love them. However, when she's breastfeeding, which is kind of what I was concerned about, what happens to these teeth when we breastfeed? But they don't really use them. They kind of just put their tongue out. This is gonna sound really funny, but this is what they do. Like, this is the teeth that came out, and she'll suck like this. This is too funny, but that's how she sucks. So basically, I don't feel her teeth at all. However, when she falls asleep, I guess she falls asleep and she will bite hard on my nipple. So we've had a couple of incidents where, she bites and leaves some bite marks on my nipple. So that hasn't been fun. But again, it's when she falls asleep. She's never awake when she actually does it. It's just, she falls asleep and I kind of have to just pop it out. Sometimes I'll even scream and she'll wake up, but it's really painful. But she doesn't do it on purpose. When she's actually breastfeeding, she does not use her teeth at all. So if that was a concern of you guys, because I know it was definitely a concern for me, it doesn't hurt whatsoever. I do have another quick update. probably around 2 weeks ago, I had this really bad pain, kind of on my right side, kind of where your ovaries are, but just my right side. I'll just give you guys the whole breakdown. When it started hurting, I was at work and it was really hurting, but I just kind of procrastinate to go to the doctors. I don't really like to go to the doctors, so I was kind of pushing it and pushing it. And when I was working, kind of just sitting on my desk and typing, it didn't hurt. But whenever I would get up and walk, it would start hurting. So at one point, I went to the restroom and I started bleeding. So I thought maybe my period's coming back because I have not seen my menstrual cycle. So that's another point, but I have not seen my period for 17 months now. And you know, once I went to the restroom and I saw that there was blood there, I thought maybe the pain is cramps and I just haven't felt them for such a long time, so maybe that's what it is. Let me just go to the doctor. And we do have a clinic where I work. So I just ran downstairs, told her my symptoms, told her I had blood. She checked me out. The first thing I said was, give me a pregnancy test. Maybe I'm pregnant and all these things are because I was pregnant. So she did a urine test and she did a blood test and I was not pregnant. So then she kind of did a quick exam. She did see that I was bleeding and she did confirm that it was coming from my cervix. However, she didn't understand why I was having so much pain. She didn't think it was associated. She said, I think the pain is just a specific pain and the blood is just you're having your period. And she did think it was my appendix. She thought I was having appendicitis and asked me to go to the emergency room to get a CAT scan. And she wanted to see if it was my appendix. However, I really doubted it. I kept telling her I thought it was a cyst, but I wasn't sure. I've had cysts before and they haven't really been painful. They've just, my doctor has told me, by the way, you have some cysts, because I don't even feel them. Long story short, I ended up going to my OBGYN. I did have some ultrasounds done and it was a cyst. However, it was a blood cyst. It wasn't, most cysts I've had in the past are just filled with liquid, just kind of fluid, nothing, just water, I guess. But this was filled with blood and that's why it was so painful. And it didn't rupture, but it did kind of just start leaking a little bit, and that's where the blood, why I saw some blood. And my period has not returned. However, my OBGYN, which is also the doctor who delivered Aria, he said that it probably kind of happened to me because my body hadn't had my period for such a long time and it's starting to prepare itself to start getting my cycles again. So I might see my period soon. However, at this point, I do not have my period. And after this whole little shenanigan, I did come home and I took more pregnancy tests just in case. I've heard a couple of my friends and some of my family members, they actually just had a baby and they became pregnant immediately after. I think the baby was a month or 2 months old in the other case and they got pregnant again. So I kind of been surrounded by this and was just wanted to, since I don't have my cycles back, I just wanted to take tests just to see. And I wasn't pregnant, everything came back negative. However, yesterday I had 4 different people come up to me and tell me, this is gonna be strange, but I had a dream with you last night and you were pregnant with a boy. So that kind of made me extremely nervous because I said, okay, these are 4 completely different people. One of them was my mom. And, you know, I was just like, okay, I'm not pregnant. I just took a pregnancy test. I'm not pregnant. Then 3 of them were co-workers. Some were not even, I don't know, some barely knew me. So this was some strange things happening. And I got home and I told my husband. My husband's like, please wait for me. I want to be there when you take the pregnancy test. With Aria, since we were trying for such a long period of time, I would take the pregnancy test myself. And when I finally positive, I kind of hid it from him and went out and bought him a little onesie and wrapped it up so it would kind of just be a surprise. And he had no idea. I gave him this little present bag and he's like, it's not even my birthday, what's happening? And when he opened it, it was a onesie and he was like, oh my God, he was so excited. So he was like, okay, we went through that. I really want to take it with you, so I want to be there. So when I got home, I took the pregnancy test and it was negative. So I am not pregnant, but maybe this means that soon I'll be. I'm not sure, but I'm not pregnant right now. And our plan is for kind of when Aria is around 2 years old to start trying to conceive again. So hopefully when she's around 2.5, will get pregnant, and maybe they'll be just 3 years apart. So that's kind of our plan. I'll do a quick kind of belly shot over my clothes because I am wearing a dress, but post on Instagram my kind of just stomach, my bare stomach, and I'll link I'll write right here my Instagram name so you guys can go and follow me, and then you can see a picture of just the bare belly. I normally kind of pre-plan for these things and wear shorts under so I can show my stomach, but it's just kind of difficult right now, and I really wanted to film this and get this up as soon as possible because I am about a week late. Yes, I am about a week late, so I wanted to just film it and post it really quick. So here is my belly. So here's my belly over my clothes, obviously, but as you can see, I kind of am pretty back to normal, I would say. I do have kind of a little belly just right in this area, but obviously I need to exercise for this to kind of get toned and all that, and I haven't been doing so. So that's about it. If you guys have any more questions, I don't know what else to update you guys on, but if you have any more questions, just leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Bye guys.